Hi, I'm Daria Lenz, and I did my Human Rights Report Card on Central African Republic. I chose this country because I previously didn't know a lot about it, and I wanted to learn about its issues, because I also had heard that there was a lot of ongoing conflict there, and I just wanted to learn more about that. So I gave the country a D- because it has a lot of human rights issues, which I'll go into further. It is located in the central part of Africa. Its neighboring countries include Chad, Sudan, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo. So some current facts and figures are it has about 5 million people in its country. It is a pretty large country. It's slightly bigger than Texas. Its life expectancy is 52.8 years, which compared to the United States is pretty low. Its unemployment rate is 8%. Its inflation rate is 3.8%. And it is heavily reliant on agriculture. So some of its products include cotton, coffee, tobacco, cassava, yams, corn, etc. And it has a lot of rich resources there that a lot of people take advantage of, including gold and diamond and sugar refining and some historical background about the Central African Republic is that it was a former French colony. It received independence in 1960, and ever since then it has never had a stable leader, and parts of the country have remained lawless since 1960, and that has led to the ongoing conflict that is occurring today. So some current news includes there's a lot of conflict between two major groups, the Muslim group and the Christian group, that are living in Central African Republic. And basically what happened was that in 2013, there was an uprising against the government, and it was carried out by a Muslim group known as Salika. And they basically wanted to rebel against the government, which caused another militia group to rise against the Salika group, which were known as the Anti-Balaka. And this is a majorly Christian group. And the problem is that these two groups hold a lot of power over various regions of the Central African Republic. And the actual government that was elected in 2015 or 2016 has no power over its citizens, and this absent government is really affecting the citizens, and a lot of the militia groups are actively killing innocent victims and trying to take power over certain areas of the land because they have rich resources. And this has also caused a refugee crisis, causing a lot of Central Africans to flee to neighboring countries such as Cameroon, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Chad. And this is also a huge problem because a lot of places in Africa around the Central African Republic is not stable as well, so it's just causing even more turmoil within the region. Another problem is hunger. According to the UN, 2.5 million citizens are facing a hunger crisis. And this is a huge amount of the population. It's about half of the Central African Republic. And it's a major problem, and it's pretty astounding, especially because hunger is something that is so preventable, and nothing has been done to really help these citizens. So some of the NGOs that have been working for and with Central African Republic is Mercy Corps, International Rescue Committee, and Action Against Hunger. And they've been doing a lot to raise awareness about this crisis. The problem is that there isn't a lot of access to get into the region just because of the militia groups and not knowing whether or not they'll be safe. And you can't really identify who is a militia group and who's a normal citizen because they look so similar. So that's another ongoing problem. Some current news that has been published in the news is that there's a lot of problems, for example, with UN soldiers They've been arrested for corruption and for sex trafficking citizens, and there has also been a lot about African republics, armed groups who have been killing UN peacekeepers, which is also causing the UN to withdraw more groups, so there's less people to actually help the citizens. Another problem is that there's just a lot of conflict between just the two religious groups and ethnicity, and it's also causing more with there's no access to to food and to medicine. All the hospitals have been bombed, and there's a surge of malaria just because of all the people residing in like one specific region, and so that's causing even more conflict. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Here are some images that portray sort of what's happening. So here's a little kid in 2015 where 20% of the population was undergoing hunger and malnutrition, and it is continuing to increase. And here's another group of women. So another huge issue is that a lot of the militia groups are using women as tools, and they say they continue to use rape and sexual slavery as weapons of war. And it's a form of slavery, and it's causing a huge issue. And a lot of the education is not accessible for kids, so it's even causing like the younger generation to be affected by this war. So I hope that you guys learn something about Central African Republic and continue to learn more about it and raise more awareness about it. Thank you.